Look, still in big world news, and this week, obviously, we saw the inauguration of the new Pope. How was this marked by the royals?
Well, again, it was interesting because the Duke of Edinburgh, the King's youngest brother, Prince Edward, actually went to Italy to represent the royal family. The King did, of course, see the last Pope and his visit to Italy and the Vatican some weeks ago. And I think that this will be sort of a precursor to another visit for King Charles. I think he'll want to meet Pope Leo, indeed, perhaps next year. And Prince William could have a trip to Italy as well. I mean, these things sort of have to be managed by the Foreign Office and the government of the day. But I think for King Charles, he'll certainly want to sort of strengthen that relationship, not only with Italy, but of course, the leader of the Catholic Church, as he is the head of the Church of England in the UK.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how that looks going forward, but there's definitely room for that relationship to kick off. Now, back in the UK, and Buckingham Palace has held a garden party, as you know, it's the weather for it, right? It's the first for the Princess of Wales since her own cancer treatment. How big a deal is this, and what else was notable from this particular occasion?
Well, what is notable, I think, over the last few weeks, we've seen William and Kate, especially, doing engagements together. I mean, I was in Scotland with them both at the Isle of Mull. They spent a couple of days there. You know, that was very much community focused. We had William talking about the Royal Foundation, Kate talking about her early years programme. Then they were in Scotland again this week and attending a garden party. So it's been a bit of a ramping up of a schedule for them as well. And you look at the sort of moving chess pieces of the royal family over the past few months. Certainly Kate is in remission. She's finding her way back to duties. The King is still undergoing his cancer treatment, but continuing his work at quite a feverish pace. And so, you know, does this sort of set in motion a set of plans for the rest of the year? Of course, I think it will be a steady move into the summer. Garden parties have kicked off with great success. You know, these parties are to celebrate the sort of stalwarts of the community, and William and Kate were representing the royal family as just Charles and Camilla have done last week.
Still with Princess Catherine, and we know her passion for children and early childhood development. And this week she's spoken about the importance of paternity leave for new fathers. Look, her advocacy, it's obviously well thought out and very well put together, don't you think?
Well, very much so. I think we've seen this period of Kate's work growing from strength to strength over the last few years. She set up the Royal Foundation for Early Development in Children. That's had huge successes, so much so that this advocacy of having greater paternity leave for fathers has been taken up by one of the world's biggest companies. Deloitte have said that they're going to give fathers 6 months paid paternity leave. I mean, this is a huge, huge stride for her campaign, and she really has made it a crusade to sort of educate the wider public in the advantages of early development in children. And that comes not only for the children, but the sort of communities they're brought up in, the educational settings as well. And it's been described to me as one of the not only the pillars of her work, but something that she'll continue for the rest of her life and for the rest of her royal duties. So if in this early stage, I think she should be hugely congratulated for such a massive step.
It is a massive step, and look, it's something that we are seeing more paternity leave and seeing it become more available. But it's definitely not universal yet. So it's great to see her pushing something like that into the public view. Now, we spoke about David Attenborough recently on the show, obviously with his new film and the attendance by the King. Great article this week in the UK Telegraph about the influence of Attenborough on the King and on Prince William. He has been very integral to their environmental advocacy, hasn't he?
Well, he has. I mean, what a titan of the industry, absolute legend in his field and beyond. And I was at an engagement with Prince William just earlier this week in London. Prince William has released a new 6-part series on the BBC Earth YouTube channel talking about guardians, the rangers, the environmental rangers throughout the world, who he says do the most dangerous job in the world. I mean, there has been 1,400 murdered and killed in their line of duty over the past few years, and that is an astonishing figure when you think of people who are guarding the environment, their local environment, for the benefit of us all. And he said, Prince William said that he wanted to use David after Sir David as a springboard, as sort of a message of hope and an inspiration for his work as well. So I think this is something we'll see more of Prince William doing. I mean, of course, we've had his Earthshot Awards over the past few years, but does he want to do a bit more presenting? He is actually in front of the camera quite a lot in this series. So if you haven't checked it out, it's available now and every week. It's called Guardians, and well worth checking out.
And on to more domestic matters. I'm a dog person, so this is really important for me. We understand there's pet dog updates for both the Queen and the Walesers.
Well, yeah, it's gone thick and fast this week because, first of all, we had a new picture of the Queen's new dog, Moley, called as such because apparently he looks like a mole. And interestingly enough, this is another rescue from Battersea Cats and Dogs Home that the Queen has taken on. She's had a long list of rescues from Battersea. And for the Waleses, there's been a big update because their dog, their spaniel Orla, has had a set of puppies. And I think that, interestingly, I was reading this week, said the identity of the father has not been revealed as yet. But apparently the family are very, very happy with the set of puppies. I'm not sure whether the children will get to keep all of them, but maybe we'll have an update for you next week.
I love that. I really, really do love that. Oh, I hope for an update, and we would all love to know the identity of the father. That's all we got time for. Russell Myers, thank you so much.